I just finished my bacon butty with mushrooms and egg, and it was very nice. And while we were sat, I haven't had my coffee. Whilst we were...
Prove you finished it and you haven't just got an empty plate for show.
How do I do that?
That's a you problem.
That's a me problem. Well, it was... This yeah. I'm not having another one. My belly will pop. It's big enough as it is. Right. We've just spent forever trying to mess around with doing a short video on us reviewing the maps for SFS. And whilst we finally got something that we can sort of upload that doesn't give away all of my very, very valuable data on who I am, because people would love to pretend they're me and make me super bankrupt even more than I am. But hey ho.
You could be like Limitables. Who am I? 24601.
I don't understand that.
Do you not?
No. Anyway.
For the viewers that have seen Limitables or Les Miserables, you will understand. But Roberty.
Back to SFS or government schemes. Government schemes, general public then, oh, you farmers, you get grants for doing nothing. Yeah. It was pointed out to me very recently that the subsidy, although farmers receive a small amount of money in subsidy, it's not the farmers that are being subsidised, it's the general public. Because if farmers were allowed to sell their products or capable of selling their products at a value that paid them a wage similar to what General Joe Public, right, just let's for argument's sake say farmer has to pay himself a wage that's at least the same as the government's stated minimum wage. Now, minimum wage for an adult, is it about £12 something an hour?
£12.50 odd.
So for every hour the farmer spends doing work on his farm, be it paperwork in the office or tending to his sheep or his cows or driving his combine or whatever, if for every hour he did, that money had to be justified in paying them at least minimum wage. Yeah, I think your general food that the farmer sells would be at least 4 times what it currently is. And I did a little bit of research and looked on the net, and I looked at what a percentage the food was relative to household income in the 1950s. The general public spent 33% of their household income on food. The most recent survey says the general public spends 8.6% of their household income on food. Now, there would be a relatively direct connection between what they spend on food and what the farmers actually earn. There's all sorts of bits in the middle of supermarkets making horrendously huge profit whilst the people they're buying it from are making a loss, but that's another political agenda saved for a very famous North Walian farmer, isn't it?
It is.
So yeah, when we get a subsidy, it means that your food that the general public can have is available to buy at about quarter of the price that it should be. So the next time you hear somebody getting all excited about, oh, you farmers, you don't get taxed, you don't get this, you get free subsidies, just remember, yeah, and these farmers, we've got multi-million pound farms and properties, yeah, without us giving ourselves considerably less than minimum wage, yeah, you wouldn't be in a position to have your food as cheap as you do. I mean, I've posted on something on the internet now just about how beef prices are creeping up to what they used to be. Well, farmers can't make rearing beef pay. It's easier, certainly in this area, and makes more economic sense for a farmer to sell up their cattle and build a chicken shed and produce eggs, because they can get themselves tied into a contract for 2, 3, 4, 5 years where they know what money they're getting for their eggs, what they're paying for their feed, and can work out if they can make some money out of it. Whereas when you're rearing cattle and you don't know whether or not it's costing you more to rear them than it is to sell them at the end of the day, it's just not worth it. So as less and less people have cows, the price has gone up on what the general public have to pay for their beef because there's less available. Supply and demand. But unfortunately it needs to rise. Well, it's risen, it's doubled, and as I think the price in your supermarket for beef in the last 18 months or so. I don't know quite, but I think it needs to double again before farmers look at cattle and think, well, actually it's worth me keeping a load of cattle to produce beef to actually make any money out of it. Make any sense, or is it just drivel?
Makes sense.
As for this current scheme, well,
I was just going to ask on the political side of things, what are your personal thoughts on being paid more to grow flowers than to grow food?
well, we have a current political thought that those in power don't believe we need to produce food. They think it's perfectly fine to spend millions to farms in Africa. Yeah, they've in this last Labour shower of poo, yeah, they implied on their calculations that the inheritance tax thing would generate, was it 50 million in income for the government, yeah? And within a few months of saying how they needed that 50 million to improve the NHS, they then donated 50 million to farms in Africa. How that makes sense, I haven't got a clue. But apparently they think getting farms in Africa to be more efficient will mean that we'll get cheaper food in this country, rather than sort of encouraging farmers in this country to produce more food. They'd rather encourage farms in Africa. And the whole, we have to tax farmers so that we can have NHS is a joke. They gave the NHS a huge extra lump of money, then promptly increased contributors' national insurance payments. So I can't remember the exact figure that they gave to NHS. Was it something like 270 million? But I believe 250 million of that is going to disappear in the extra national insurance payments that the NHS are going to have to make because of their staff. So if they'd have given them 25 million, it would have, and not altered the national insurance payments, the NHS would have actually had a pay rise than what they've currently had with this 200 and something million given to them. My figures, I'm guessing them, they're plucking them out of the air because I haven't got the paperwork in front of me to know the exact figures. And it's just frustrating how people think a certain political party is so wonderful. It is really frustrating. But hey ho. Sitting down eating breakfast doesn't get any jobs done outside, and I still need to try and get things ready because I'm hoping to have some calves here over winter for a local dairy farm. And if I'm not ready now, then it causes hiccups later. Oh, and I've still got a harvesting kit from the summer that we had in the shed where the calves got to go, that's got to go, get washed off, oiled up and stored in a different shed out the way for over winter. And if I don't do that, it'll rot away and then it'll cost me thousands to replace it.
Mower repairs?
Mower repairs, yes, that's on the job, on the list somewhere. Not quite as critical, but it still needs doing. Rant of the morning. I'm sure there will be many more.